Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Baltimore Guys. I'm your host, Bazil. Welcome to my second solo cast. I just had to get on here to, I guess you could say, release some frustration and get some stuff off my mind. A lot of this is going to pertain to Baltimore, but a lot of it will pertain to what's going on around the nation, around the world. Then the big question that I have during this podcast is, yes, I know there is a lot of racial injustices going on, and there is a lot that needs to be done and taken care of. We just had Breonna's Law passed for not breaking and entering, but entering without a warrant for police. And I know Trump just signed an executive order regarding police and how they conduct arrests, and no more headlocks and no more chokeholds, which is, great and all, but there's still a conversation that needs to be held in the Black community that for some reason, when it is brought up, regardless of who it is, it's always batted down with, well, this isn't the time. You shouldn't be doing this now. Well, when the hell is the time to do it? Because, and this leads me back to Baltimore. Since March 23rd, I believe we are in July 21st. So since March 23rd, there's been 11 killings, 18 people shot. And this is from the Baltimore Sun reporting. And I think that number should be higher. Because this was done mid-April, so I know that number is much higher. But the point I'm getting to is this, and there's a terrible story which I unfortunately have to tell you and let you guys know, but it still relates to the subject of when are we as a people going to have this conversation. Now, there's been a lot of promotion going on regarding Black businesses, supporting Black businesses, which is great. That's what I particularly try and do with this podcast. I try and highlight a lot of the Black businesses, whether it's locally, domestically, people who are, giving you great products, great services that, these big companies, they're in it for the profit, where a lot of these locally owned Black businesses are doing it for the people. So I try and highlight those as much as I can. But, damn it, I just lost my train of thought. But the point I'm trying to get to regarding, let's just stay with the homicides. Yes, we all know Black on Black crime is a lie, because anyone who is in constant relation with their certain group of people are more than likely to kill that people. White people are more likely to kill white people because they're around white people. Black people are more likely to kill Black people because they're around Black people, so on and so forth. We get that. But if you are harping on this notion that Black lives matter, there's a certain value to have for Black lives, or, hey, our lives matter just as much as your lives matter, and the world needs to adhere to that. Okay, I understand that. 100%, I completely understand that. But then you have situations just like this, and I know this is just this is just one story, but it happens all the time. And I'm gonna discuss what's going on with social media. We had a story here in Baltimore where a man shot his baby mother, who was 8 months pregnant with his kid, and then shot his 3-year-old toddler. Now, I don't know what kind of devils this guy was dealing with, but the simple fact that you're easily willing to do that is beyond atrocious. But this is something that is not highlighted. This is a story that should be like, we all should be talking about, because that's ridiculous. Like, how is it that this is a child's life that was taken. I wouldn't even fathom. I couldn't imagine what that even the family is going through. and what this person was thinking to just easily just pull the trigger on a toddler, not yet alone the baby mother, and then she's pregnant. Like what's going on? There needs to be something that needs to be addressed with our community, and we need to address it. We can't just keep harping and crying and, hear our cries, hear our pleas. What's going on? We need help. Look, the number one people who can help our people is us. Like, that's it. There's no in between. I don't know if it's been me in particular, but I've been seeing videos and a lot of people showing emotion, people crying and whatnot. And I don't know if I'm just cold-hearted. I don't know what the case may be, but I don't feel this sense of, I'm not saying it's a victim mentality, but I just don't. This is not making me cry. This is making me want to get proactive. This is making me want to move forward. What can we do? Like, start doing some actions. This whole, I guess I'm not trying to sound insensitive, but at a certain point, these tears and whatnot, it's just not doing anything. And, I hate the term, hear our cries, hear our pleas. I hate that, because to me that sounds so, it sounds like a victim mentality. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to describe it to you, but like I said, maybe it's just me. I know there's some people that feel the same way, but I don't need you to hear my cries about anything. I'm going to do something about it. And whether you like it or not, it's going to happen, because it's for the betterment of my people, my community. And that's what needs to be done. But going back to the issue of violence within our community, when is the right time to discuss that? Because that story alone just set me off. One, against, violence against children, but also violence against our women. The video that's circling around with the guy who hit the woman with the skateboard. His buddies are laughing. There's a video of these guys dumping this girl into a garbage dumpster, laughing about it, calling her a bitch and all this other shit. Like, when are we going to address these issues? When are we going to address this and realize that's not all right? Like, that's some ho shit. And excuse my language. I usually don't cuss on here, but for this situation, it's pretty ridiculous. Like, why is that okay? How is it that you're filming this guy taking a skateboard to a woman's head and y'all laughing about it, and he's walking away like, yeah, that's why you don't reject me. That's what we're doing, and we tolerate that, and his friends are okay with that? Like, who are these guys? I remember the situation with the dude in the New York substation kicking an old woman who was sitting there for groceries. She had to be about 80, kicking her. Like, how? And he's supposed to talking about, yeah, world star that. And the guys are just sitting there, oh. And this is an older dude. So if an older dude is doing this, we can't even correlate, oh, this is just that younger generation. We got old people doing that shit. Like, what is the mentality? How did we come to this? We're so quick just because, and the media has a big part to play with this. How is it that they're so quick to show a black person being killed on camera? It's so quick to see. You can see that easily. But if you want to see a white person being killed or an Asian being killed, you got to go searching for that. That doesn't show up as easily. But let me show you a cop killing a black person, or let me show you a shooting in a city neighborhood between black people. They'll show that without question, easily. And why do they allow that? Why is it okay to show that? But when we're out here, when other ethnicities are doing that, it's not shown as so quickly. That's the kind of hidden agenda stuff that, I wish people would question, because these people aren't our allies. There is people like to say that, Trump's dividing this country, or this country's never been so divided. Dog, this country's been divided all the time. All the time. If you sit back and just pay attention at the steps that are done, the stuff that's being shown, the stuff that's being allowed to be shown, it's little divisions here and there. It's not that hard to see. But we like to place blame on, oh, it's this guy who's doing it. Oh, it's never been like this before. It's always been like this. Always. But going back to the story regarding this MFer that, just blatantly murdered just innocent child and an innocent mother. I mean, I don't look. I don't know what their life was like at this point. I really don't care because of the outcome. But there's no way that can possess somebody to be able to do that so easily. On a day of Father's Day, the importance of having a black male figure, is so prevalent and necessary. I say that as being the oldest in my family. I have 2 younger brothers. We have our days, we're brothers and everything, but at the end of the day, they know, look, I love you guys. And currently my dad's not here. He's back in Africa, but I have to be that figure. I have to be that beacon, that symbol that they know of protection, discipline, support. I had a conversation where I had to sit down with my middle brother the other day and just had to explain to him how to express his frustrations with what's going on. And he has autism, and he still sees these killings, and it affects him. And he doesn't know how to express himself to discuss these issues. And you got to be there, and I'm there to be his ear, someone that he can just vent to and understand where he's coming from. And I'm not sure if that's a solution we need to deal with what's going on. Because a lot of these dudes out here, man, you carrying around a gun, does that make you more of a man? It doesn't. And a lot of that has to do with big part with our culture, what we allow. Rap music. This whole genre of, oh, I'm gonna kill this sucker, yada, 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 bragging about killing all these hoes and bitches. For our women. Why? Who said it was okay to be called a bitch? Like, nowadays, they take that as a compliment. I'm the baddest bitch. I'm number one bitch. All this stuff. Like, where did this come from? Where did this mentality come from? Why are we tolerating that? Why do we allow ourselves to be degraded in that way? And why don't we make it accountable for these, quote unquote celebrities, or these people we put on this pedestal, that no, man, we can't be addressing our people like that. You have some hip hop artists who put out, a song during this whole George Floyd and these protest situations. That's great. But look at their track record. Are they going to keep doing that? Or are they just doing it during the moment for publicity? There's some artists out there who don't, but most of the time, I mean, hey, my light's a little low on me right now. Let me do this real quick so I can get some more shine. We have these pages on social media. I think the big one now is the Shade Room, but it used to be World Star Hip Hop, that would show that these violent crimes we're doing to each other. And then people would do stuff just so they can make it onto whether the Shade Room or World Star. Why? Why would you do that? Or people just recording stuff. Oh, look, I was there. Recently, there was a shooting in Atlanta. Some guy recorded these guys walking down the streets with semi-automatic rifles. Guy puts his phone out. A woman gets shot. He's still recording it. Oh my God, the bullet almost hit me. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Bro, are you going to help the woman out? Like, do we know the steps to do in case if something happens? You see someone shot, they're bleeding. Do you know how to tourniquet it? Do you know how to address the wound to make sure to see if there's an exit wound? Do we know these things? You know, during the protests here in Baltimore, there was a guy, I didn't get his name, but he was going off saying, y'all ain't here to help the cause. Y'all are just here for the gram. And a lot of people were saying, man, this guy's crazy, whatever. But, you know, in my head, as I'm recording, because I work in media, I was recording, he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. You know, the social media is a gift and a curse. There are times when you can get a message out there, let people know you're okay during certain situations, or, you know, spread the word on an initiative or campaign that's for the benefit of our people, in particular, like black businesses. There's a lot of black business promotion that's going on. Great job with social media. But there's this idea that you got to do these outrageous things, or you film these outrageous things to post on social media, and it's all right to do it because you're going to get some clout from it. And that mentality in itself, that has to change. But again, is this a conversation that we are willing to have? Like, when is the right time to have the conversation? Because for me, these are questions I've always had. And if you bring it up, nah, dog. Bringing up these topics, it automatically makes you a sellout, which I don't understand, because I'm trying to address these issues that are affecting our community. But because I don't agree with the issues that you feel are affecting our community, that makes me a sellout. What kind of ass backward shit is that? I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's something that needs to be done. You know, because of right now, people are chanting we're in a revolution and we're doing all this, that, and the third. You know, this change is coming, and I want to be optimistic. I really do, and I want to see change, but history doesn't lie. Well, it does lie depending on who the victor is, but in these situations, history has just repeated itself. See someone die, we protest, we riot, and then what? What happens next? I mean, so far, 2 laws have been implemented from this: Breonna's Law and the Police Reform Act that 45 signed. And I'm not sure how much was in that, but 2 things have happened so far. But at the end of the day, we still have our people killing each other over God knows what. We still have our women being violated and degraded, and people posting it online and thinking that that's cool. And that's just the start. I just want us to be able, you know, we ask white people to have the difficult conversation on racism and whatnot. Fine, you know, have that conversation. But if white people don't like me because of my skin color, then fuck them. Because that's the dumbest shit ever. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and waste my time trying to convince somebody to like me when they don't. You don't like me? Fine. Don't cross me, though. For us as Black people in America and across the world, but mostly in America, because this is where the issue lies, that I've seen. I've yet to travel, and I will be traveling globally, so you will be hearing about that. But as it pertains to America, we need to have the conversation as Black people. What are we doing? What steps are we going to take to help ourselves? There needs to be an accountability aspect, because it's not we just can't throw this, oh, we're like this because of you. We have a responsibility to ourselves as well. And we need to take accountability ourselves for what's being done in our communities, because we can change that. But that's it for me, guys. I hope you're doing well. Happy Father's Day, even though this won't come out on Father's Day, but happy Father's Day. Stay safe, everyone. I'll talk to you next time.